This is Shabbos Lamed Beis. Now we're going to talk about the Mishnah says that you're allowed to move a new lamp. You can't move an old lamp. And Rabbi Shimon says you can move anything that is not lit on Shabbos. So now we're going to talk about Muksa. You may move a new lamp but not an old lamp, and we're going to discuss exactly why. So first, the Gemara is going to assume that the reason why you can't move an old lamp is because that it's dirty. Although there is another reason why you can't move an old lamp. An old lamp just might mean a lamp that actually was used once for lighting, and since it was designated now as a new lamp, as lamp for lighting, so therefore it's forever muksa on Shabbos because it is a lamp that is used for lighting. Whereas a new lamp, even though it was made for lighting, the person never designated it yet for lighting, never actually lit it. So therefore, to him, it's just a candlestick, and it can be used as a doorstop, and it can be used to pry open something or whatever else the person wants to use it, or to use it for home protection. So since he never used it, it's new. It was never used by the Jew. So therefore, the Jew never designated for muksa, and therefore it is not muksa. That's another way we could interpret it. The Gemara is first going to go straight to Pogum and say because an old lamp is dirty. But that's the other reason why I think we could say this, and we learn throughout the Gemara, and that makes sense. Hasev Rav Chia bar Ada. Rav Chia bar Abba set forth a challenge. We learned in a Mishnah. Kaisen sal lifnei froichin. You invert a basket in front of chicks. Shel of Yerdus. They go up and down into their nest or into their coop. Obviously, it's going to become dirty by doing that. So if we're saying, what do you mean that you could move a new lamp and not an old lamp, but you can't even move a new basket because it's become dirty? Obviously, the nafkamina here is that the basket was not dirty when you moved it. Even though you're moving it and it will become dirty, it was not dirty when you moved it, and therefore you're allowed to move it. However, it seems from Rav Chia bar Ada that he holds if you're going to use something, do something on Shabbos to make it pogum, that itself is not going to be good. We can see it later on. Also, again, we're going to see this when we're talking about different things to put in front of a chicken coop. And we're going to say whether or not your intention is whether you care to get dirty or not. So obviously, if the intention is, you can put it in front of them and you want this basket to get dirty because you want the chicks to use it. So then that itself is not enough. That itself is going to be muksa according to Rab Chia bar Ada. According to others, it's not going to be. And we'll come again to that svara when we get to the point where, again, we revisit this Mishnah with the chicken coop and allowing the chickens to go into their coop. Amriyam. So the Talmudim said, Chada de Rabbi Yehuda, that is one of the Mishnah's called Rabbi Yehuda. That's not, because we learned in a brisa. Kal hanera is metaltale, and all neiras may be moved. Chutz min haner had laka b'Shabbos, except for a lamp that has been lit on Shabbos. Rabbi Yehuda says, Ner chadash mutal taltal. You could do a new one. V'yashan aser, but you can't move an old one. Rabbi Shimon says, Kal haner is metaltal, all neiras will be moved. Chutz min haner had laka Shabbos, except for one that's lit on Shabbos. Kacha mutal taltal. If it goes out, it can be used on Shabbos. He does not hold that it's muksa just because it was muksa when Shabbos came in. So long as now it's not muksa, now it's not being used for a lamp, now it doesn't have a fire on it. Therefore, it's not in and of itself a thing you designate for malacha. Now you can use it for whatever you want. Rabbi Yebriya, Rabbi Ba, Trey, and B'Shem, Rabbi Yechanan. Chadamar, one of them says, Rabbi Meir, that according to Rabbi Meir, that Chad miyuchad asar, that an object that was miyuchad to do an isar on Shabbos, like to light, then it's asar. V'chorna Amar, another one says, Kol shiachto isar. Anyone that's designated exclusively for something forbidden, and then it is asar. So v'lo yadina and manda amar amarda. We don't know which one say this one say that opinion. So min amada amar manchia. The one who said Hanina says Rabbi Yirmiyah shal. Rabbi Yirmiyah asked, Hahan livna la kimyuchad l'israhu, is a brick that was used for construction or for some other Isra purpose, and it's not designated for Shabbos. Is that considered forbidden? So Hayahu do you amar Rabbi Yuchanan asar that he says that you could conclude that is he Rabbi Yirmiyah who said that according to Rabbi Meir, any object that has been designated for this Shabbos for it to be forbidden, then is forbidden. It doesn't need to be designated for all Shabbosim. Any specific Shabbos to be designated. So this Shabbos is forbidden. Next Shabbos might be designated for mutter. So there's no such thing as an object being always muksa. This Shabbos is muksa. It doesn't have to be designated for every Shabbos in order for it to be muksa. Man Damar Miyuchad, the one who says that it designated as muksa because of itself, Kol Shekei Yachtav, and it certainly holds that an object is designated exclusively for muksa. Man Damar Yachtav, the one who says that it's only designated for this time, Hamiyuchad Lai, but if it designated in itself, how do you know? So Masnisa and Pilga ad Man Damar the Miyuchad Asul Asar. A Mishnah contradicted this one of Yermia, who said that a mayor says any object that has been designated for something forbidden to be moved is deemed to be muksa, and you can't move it, just to move it. Let's non-tanan. We learned in the mission over there. So, for instance, let's say muchana shala, a wheel of a little cart. So, bisman shayu noishtames, when it is removable, enei chibur, it is not considered connected to the bin because it's removable. So, for every Shabbos, if it's designated as muksa, well, it's connected. So it's not measured together with the bin. And it's not considered tuma, and not with oil amaze. And no man won't drag it on Shabbos when there is money inside of it. So V'tanei Allah, and it was taught in a brisa with regard to the latter ruling regarding to moving money that was inside it. If there was money on the wheel and the money fell off, then it may be dragged. So if it had money in it, and then if the money fell out, then it could be dragged. But if the money remains in it, then you can't. So therefore, we see that so long as it was designated for muksa, then you can't use it. But if it's no longer designated for muksa because the money's not in it anymore, so it's not exclusive muksa. It's not going to be muksa forever. So if we see not like the one who says that it has to be muksa forever or muksa for Shabbos and Shabbos, we see that this one goes according to the one that says, so long as it's being used for muksa, it's muksa, and if it's not, it's not. Sort of like Rabbi Shimon. I'm Rabbi Sheshes. Rabbi Sheshes says, the Rabbi Shimon, that mission is Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon says, Kacha mutzar l'tatlai. Once it extinguished, you could move it. Amrinan. So the students, they said, one second. Lama leslan nan vrisen la du Rabbi hakal hi b'shcheach. Do we not interpret this that maybe someone forgot? Yes, he moved because the guy forgot. Then it's not going to be a chatos or a kares because it's not necessarily deraisa. But the guy forgot. Then it's fine. But if he l'chatchila doesn't forget, then it's aser. Less at yachel. So you cannot say like this. It's not to Haman. We learned another mission over there. If the wheel is not removable, chibur la, and it's connected to the bin, v'nechman is measured with it, and it's connected by it for oil tuma, for a corpse. The gairin isa b'shabbos afal p sheyesh ma'is. One may drag it on the Shabbos even though there's money inside the wheel receptacle because it's bottled to the actual wagon. The wagon itself is mutter. The wagon is allowed to be used. So even though the wheel had money on it or in it, it's subject to the whole carriage itself, and therefore you're allowed to move it. That moving it is only a secondary action. Really, you're trying to move the wagon itself. So then maybe you could say, well, there also, no, 1 second, no. That's also because he forgot, and he forgot. That's why it's allowed. So you can say this opinion according to everybody. So we always say, so Masnisan Palga Al Asar. And Mishnah contradicts this one again with Rabbi Yirmiyah, who said that according to Rabbi Meir, that any object that has been designated for this Shabbos, for something that is Asar, is deemed to be a muksa for this Shabbos. That's not. For we learned in a Mishnah, Ha'even Sha'al Pi Ha'avik. So a stone that was on top of a cask. So Mata Al Tzida V'nefelas. So one may tilt it, get the rock off, and then you could use it. There we go. So it's not designated for the whole Shabbos. Just because it's designated part of the Shabbos is not designated the whole Shabbos. The muktzah is off it. It's no longer basis. Now you're allowed to move it. Rabbi Ba B'Shem Rav Chia Barash Psar Lav Rav Shacheach. Again, let's interpret this one also. He forgot. That's why he's saying that. In the state of forgetting this, and he did it. Umin de Vasra. But okay, what about the second Mishnah? So how you so bad in the chibah? So you have a cask and you're moving a whole bunch of different casks. So megavi mata al tzida avina felas. One may lift the cask and then tilt on its side to let it fall off. I do pasar la Rav Shech. So interpret this according to Rav, also dealing with one who forgot and the stone was there. So now the Gemara is going to challenge our Buzz version, according to that the basis is muksa only if it's designated exclusively as a basis. Let's see. Masnisa pilga al man damar mash yuchad leisar the Isser. A Brisa contradicts the one that says that any object that one designated exclusively for Isser is going to remain Isser for the whole entire Shabbos. Not if we learn in the Mishnah. Kaifin, Sal, Lefnei, Harfreichin. You may invert a basket in front of chicks. So it was not designated for Isser, but now you're inverting it in front of chicks, Erev Shabbos. Sheyalov Yardu, and they climb up and down. V'tani Allah, and the Bryce told this ruling, Alamei Alehem, the chicks, they go on their own, Asulal Tolton, and still it is forbidden to move the basket. So you designated for them, for the chicks to do it, and now they're doing it even though they're doing it on their own, and now you can't move the basket anymore the rest of Shabbos. So that shows that if it's designated for a basis, and even the chicks go off, and they're no longer using it, you cannot take away the basket. So the basis for free Shabbos is for the whole Shabbos. So Amar Rabbi Bun, Rav Chama, Kamei Rav Zera, he says the obvious answer. Tifsar b'mos, say that it's because it got mos. It was okay. You designated for them before Shabbos, and it was a clean basket. But now it's mos. So even though they're not using it anymore, the reason why I can't move it is because now it's a different standard. Now it's mos. Most things should not be, things that are disgusting should not be moved on Shabbos. So that's why you can't move the basket. Not because it was designated for Shabbos, because now it changed its status, it became disgusting. So anything that became disgusting, so like the candle, labra, an old one. If it became disgusting in Shabbos, so then you can't move it anymore, even though it's lit for Shabbos and now extinguished, even because of Rabbi Shimon, if it becomes disgusting, you can't use it. So Amar Lei, so Rabbi said to him, but we learned in the Tana Rabbi, so even a keli that's used to measure saw, or to measure a tarkov, which is objects used to measure solid measurements. Islach Meimar Sa'av Tarkav Muyos. Can you say that the solid Tarkav became repugnant? Of course not. 1 second. Of course it could. If a basket become repugnant because of the chickens, so then that could also become repugnant. So again, what would you say about before? We said it's the intention. You intended the basket's going to become repugnant because it's going to be used by the chicks. So therefore, once you designate it for Shabbos for the chicks, you know it's going to become repugnant. You know you're not going to use the rest of Shabbos. So really, you had it in mind that the entire Shabbos you're not going to use it because it's going to become repugnant. But if someone does it with a measuring utensils, he's not designating it to be disgusting. He doesn't want it to be disgusting. He has to measure food from it. So therefore, he's probably only doing it temporarily or very shortly, and he's going to watch it go up and down quickly and take it away. So therefore, the designation is not necessarily for the entire Shabbos. So that's the whole entire difference. Was the designation done for the entire Shabbos? That proves that if you designate for the entire Shabbos, then it's fine, because you know it's going to come repugnant. So therefore, you had in mind either clean basket turned over for the chicks, that's going to be a busses for the entire Shabbos, muktzah the entire Shabbos. However, something that you don't designate for entire Shabbos, then you should be allowed to move it, right? Because you don't designate it to become disgusting. You only want it for a short amount of time. You're going to take it away from them after they get into the coop, because you don't want them using it entire Shabbos getting it dirty, because you need to use it for some food. Therefore, your intention was only to do it temporarily. And yet we still see that it is usher. It proves that once it's designated for buses, when Shabbos comes in, boom, it's buses the entire Shabbos. Rabbi Yirmiyah B'Shem Rav, Rabbi Yirmiyah B'Shem Rabbi Meir, the halacha goes according to Rabbi Meir, who says that muksa on account of mios when it's repugnant, but he muksa for a buses, even though it no longer contains the buses reason. Shmuel Amar Shmuel says halacha Rabbi Yehuda. That's what Rabbi Yehuda says. He subscribes to the concept of muksa, and that because of mios, but he rejects muksa that buses, once it's buses, it's always buses. Rabbi Shua ben Levi says, halach Rabbi Shimon, halach Rabbi Shimon. Once it's no longer being used as muksa, you could use it. Ka'ain kuma Rabbi Yechanan, they quoted Rabbi Yechanan, at Omar. What are you going to hold exactly? Amar lines, Rabbi Yechanan said to them, Ani ein lai ela Mishnah. I only follow Mishnah. Call neros without you can move all neros. Chutz min aner l'hadlik Shabbos. If one that was lit in Shabbos, even if it went out, you still cannot move it. I do not hold like Rabbi Shimon that once it goes out, you can use it. But if it was not used in Shabbos, even though something is usually muksa, but it's not been used for muksa this Shabbos, you could use it. Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish, Rabbi Shimon ben Lakish ruled in Atrabulus that menorah kitana muteras latantla, a small menorah may be moved. Rabbi Chalbai for Rabbi Avu, after going out of Avu, and then what do they say? Kumi Rabbi Chalbai la Mevrin, Kumi Rabbi Avu and Marvin. They would not remove it in the presence of Rabbi Chalbai, but they would remove it in the presence of Ravu.